What's up, friends? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Justin Ryder. I'm a commercial real estate broker and content creator based out of Lexington, Kentucky. Today, I'm coming at you from beautiful Miami, Florida, having wrapped up SVN's annual national conference. This was an electric few days, and I knew when I started a YouTube channel that part of it would be bringing you the perspective that I gained from real estate and networking events that will often fuel my real estate entrepreneurial spirit. And this one absolutely did that. So if I had to give it a grade, I would absolutely say an A+, knocked it out of the park. And in today's video, I'll be sharing 7 key learnings that I picked up from this conference that will fuel my work going forward. Here we go. Number 1, give yourself a think day. I literally flew to Miami one day before the conference started just to read, think, write, pray, exercise. I called it a think day. Now, the wonderful benefit of this plan is that when people started to arrive on Tuesday, I was ready to network, learn, and ask questions, talk shop, and dig in. I am finding that rarely giving yourself any margin, rarely giving yourself a time to think is a crucial mistake. Plan a think day. I really do think it's something I'm gonna do for conferences moving forward. Number 2, this was great. The truth about what people are experiencing is usually just beneath the surface. Oftentimes, death is one question away. So you have to be willing to go there. And that's how you can be different at conferences. Of course, everyone can ask the typical questions. What do you do? What's your specialty? Where are you from? But I did find that 2 questions this week actually allowed people to let their guard down a little bit, and it encouraged depth. Those 2 questions were, what's your biggest challenge right now? The second question is, what is giving you life the most right now? That could be work, it could be your family, it could be a hobby. Those 2 questions were different and they created fresh conversation. At conferences, pursue depth with people. Number 3, the key to commercial real estate is executing a plan. If you are laser focused on a plan of attack, nothing can mess with you. Distractions might come in, other calls might come in, but if you're in the midst of executing a plan, regardless of the results, you're going to feel satisfied in your work. That is one thing I'm learning in a major way. Where does the satisfaction come from in an all-commission job? It comes from being engaged in a plan. My team and I just completed our first sprint of this year. We hit all of our calls, we learned a ton, we got listings, we're working on making deals. Not everything went perfect, but I'm sitting here in Miami going, we're in the midst of something really special. I wanna encourage you right now, if you don't have a specific business plan that you're executing, that discipline will award you tons of freedom in your life. Major takeaway. Number 4, I think the ways that I'm thinking about content are changing, and they're leaning more into the vulnerable and the genuine. That was evidenced by the 2 most impactful speakers to me, who were both raw and vulnerable versus programmed and polished. That was actually really good. I'm gonna write that down. Raw and vulnerable versus programmed and polished. So I gotta say, kudos to SVN for bringing in Damon John of Shark Tank fame. Shark Tank was actually on in the Delta Lounge on my way to this conference. And then I show up, I'm 8 feet from Damon John, and he has nothing to prove to a room full of commercial real estate agents. He's accomplished, he's built and sold businesses, he owns brands, he owns media. So he can sit back and basically deliver a message that is entrepreneurial fuel. He really did say a couple things I won't forget, which one was, no is simply a request for more information. How about that? And secondly, very in tune with my personal belief set that anything worth doing is worth overdoing. Number 5, everything you're doing in your career, whether it's social, relationships, local, actual deals, everything needs to be pushing you to an expertise, leaning into and developing an expertise. I have to tell you all, it was an absolute privilege to hear from Beth Azor, who was at this conference. I can totally see why she's an industry staple. I can totally see why she's on the speaking scene, because she's out there developing in people the hunger to lean into expertise. 2 things that she said I took away were to coordinate the uncoordinated. So where can you build community amongst your expertise? Use media, but build relationships online and in person that can help you become more of an expert in your field. And secondly, she's actually out there really encouraging women to invest in commercial real estate. I'm a girl dad, I have 3 daughters. That means a lot to me. I'm almost positive she said less than 1.5% of commercial real estate owners are women. And so she's encouraging women, she's building community amongst women to become investors. If you're running a real estate event, I highly recommend you bring her in to speak. Number 6 is an attitude. And I think about the attitude as a finally you type attitude. Now, I love at conferences when I pick up little tidbits that make me better at the basics, better at something like a simple cold call. As we all know, the key to success in this business is being extraordinary at the ordinary things. That's my buddy Reed Bennett, who said that this week, of which I will not forget. So one way you can be extraordinary at the ordinary cold call is to take a finally you approach. And the idea is to have in your mind and to even say to a prospect, out of all the owners I've talked to, I haven't got a chance to speak with you yet. Finally, it's you. You take that attitude into a call, you're going to actually make people feel special, make people feel like, wow, they have been waiting to talk to me. That's pretty cool. Okay, number 7, this week was very special because I actually won an award. I was honored and brought up on stage as SVN's Influencer of the Year. Now, let me tell you why this is such an honor. This company is filled with very smart, driven, successful, and creative people. SVN has 200 offices and there's 2,000 plus advisors. So I was extremely honored that the stuff I'm putting out there, whether it's LinkedIn or Twitter or YouTube, by the way, thank you for jumping on early with YouTube and going on this journey with me. But the stuff is going out there and people are listening and responding. And in some ways, it's a little scary. Mostly, it's just awesome. I want to specifically thank SVN for inspiring and recognizing creativity. I think what I want to say about this award is that I love creating stuff. I really do. And I feel very privileged to be in such an incredible industry with no ceiling. So the fact that I'm creating stuff and putting stuff out there and people are actually reading and watching and interacting and subscribing and they're telling me it's adding value to their lives and helping them make money and making them think about purpose and their why. The fact that I'm doing it and that people like you are following along and interacting is absolutely special, to say the least. So thank you to SVN for awarding me Influencer of the Year. Thank you for throwing a great conference, and thank you for watching, interacting, and subscribing. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.